The West was never tamed by lawmen alone, nor by brave cowboys, nor by sheer numbers. It was carved by the weapons men carried in their hands, the guns that decided who lived, who died, and who became legend. But some weapons, some were so dangerous, so revolutionary, that the moment they were known to exist, authorities banned them. They never fully touched frontier soil. They were whispered about in saloons, feared on the open plains, carried by men who lived outside the law. These were the outlaws' secret weapons, guns that bent the rules of life and death before anyone could even aim at them. Today, we count down the 10 most feared, most banned, and most extraordinary outlaw weapons of the American frontier. Stay with us until the end. The last two on this list didn't just change gunfighting, they rewrote it entirely. Number 10. The Lamat revolver. Most guns in the West carried 6 rounds. The Lamat carried 9, plus a hidden shotgun barrel capable of ending a fight in an instant. Born in New Orleans, this revolver was designed for Confederate officers, but a handful slipped west into the hands of outlaws who understood its power. Imagine a dimly lit Louisiana saloon, gun smoke curling in the air, tables overturned, patrons frozen in terror. One outlaw fired 6 bullets, then snapped the shotgun barrel, scattering chairs, bottles, and men alike. It wasn't just the firepower that made the Lamat deadly. It was its psychology. Facing a man with 9 bullets and a shotgun hidden in the same weapon was enough to make most opponents hesitate. In Texas, cattle rustlers used it to fend off entire posses, disappearing into the brush before anyone could react. The Lamat wasn't just a gun, it was a symbol. Whoever carried it held fate itself in their hands. Number 9. Colt Lightning rifle. While lever-action rifles dominated the frontier, the Colt Lightning broke the mold with its pump-action design. A shooter could fire multiple rounds rapidly without moving hands far from the trigger. Cowboys marveled at its speed, some claiming they could fire almost as fast as modern semi-automatics. Billy the Kid reportedly carried one briefly, knowing that slow guns cost lives. Its design wasn't just about speed, it was about control. Recoil was manageable, allowing rapid successive shots with deadly accuracy. In one account from Arizona, a lone outlaw held off a rival gang with just a Colt Lightning, firing round after round with such speed that witnesses described the flashes as a storm of fire. Towns feared it because a single man could turn an ambush into a massacre or a miraculous escape. Number 8. Merwin Hulbert revolver. This was the gun collectors whispered about, historians obsessed over, and cowboys swore handled like silk. The Merwin Hulbert allowed shooters to twist the barrel and slide the cylinder forward, ejecting only empty cartridges while keeping live rounds in place. No wasted motion, no lost seconds, no surprises. In Kansas, a lone bounty hunter entered a saloon and within moments neutralized 3 armed men before the first of them could draw. The smooth action, tight tolerances, and reliability even in sandy, dusty conditions made it the ultimate gunfighter's companion. In an era when most revolvers jammed or misfired, the Merwin Hulbert gave its wielder an almost unfair advantage. Fast to draw, fast to reload, fast to fire. It wasn't just a gun, it was a survival machine. Number 7. Colt 1860. Army. Before metallic cartridges dominated, the Colt 1860 Army reigned. Light, balanced, and deceptively fast, it could be loaded with preloaded cylinders swapped in seconds, allowing near-continuous fire. Outlaws and lawmen exploited this speed in ways most people could barely imagine. One account tells of a gunfighter in New Mexico who faced 4 rivals in a single room. With 2 preloaded cylinders, he fired continuously, swapping them mid-fight, and emerged unscathed. It was a loophole in the technology of the time, a trick that allowed one man to hold his own against numbers that should have killed him. The Colt 1860. Army wasn't just a tool, it was a cheat code in a deadly game of life and death. Number 6. Sharps rifle. Long range, precise, unforgiving. The Sharps allowed a single marksman to dominate the plains. In New Mexico, an outlaw reportedly shot a pursuing marshal from over 300 yards, then disappeared before reinforcements could respond. Its breech-loading design, heavy rounds, and rifled barrel gave unprecedented control for the time. Cowboys, bounty hunters, and outlaws alike relied on it to dictate the terms of a fight. Stagecoach ambushes became chess matches, with one man's bullet deciding life or death across hundreds of yards. The Sharps rifle didn't just reward skill, it demanded it, and in the hands of a master, it became a weapon that could change history. Before we ride any farther, hitch your horse and settle in. The guns coming next? They weren't just fast, they were terrifying, banned, and sometimes almost impossible to control. And if you think what you've seen so far is incredible, wait until you see the weapons that follow. If this ride through frontier history has you on the edge of your seat, don't just watch quietly. Leave a like, share this video with a fellow history writer, and drop a comment telling us which outlaw weapon you'd trust in a showdown. Every like, share, and comment helps our channel grow and keeps these stories alive for every fan of the frontier. Now, saddle up. The next weapons are about to redefine what danger meant in the West. Number 5. Gatling gun. Yes, an outlaw with a Gatling gun. Though designed for armies, smaller models occasionally found their way west. Imagine a street filled with dust and confusion as one man cranks the handles, unleashing mechanical firepower that scattered civilians, lawmen, and gang members alike. The Gatling wasn't just a weapon, it was a tool of terror. Towns banned it, not merely because of the bullets, but because a single man could turn an entire street into a storm of death. Outlaws understood that rumor of its presence was as powerful as the weapon itself. One man with a Gatling gun could dominate a scene in ways that conventional revolvers could never match. Number 4. Remington rolling block. Simple, rugged, and unflinching under fire. Outlaws carried the Remington rolling block into Montana and the Dakotas, relying on its reliability when almost every other rifle could fail. Ambushes that should have ended in death became survivable thanks to this dependable weapon. The rolling block demanded no finesse, no specialized skill, just steady hands and a cold mind. In one documented incident, a lone outlaw used a rolling block to hold off a pursuing posse long enough to escape. Its dependability made it the equalizer for men who were outnumbered but not outmatched. Number 3. Colt Dragoon. Massive, intimidating, deadly. The Colt Dragoon fired a .44 caliber ball capable of dropping a horse. Yet skilled men used the recoil as part of their rhythm, snapping the hammer back for rapid follow-up shots. Novices struggled under its weight and kick. Experts turned it into a machine of fear. One story recounts a frontier gunfight where a dragoon-wielding outlaw fired successive shots so quickly that opponents barely had time to react. Heavy, yes, but the dragoon's size became its strength. It was proof that sometimes the most unwieldy weapons, mastered, could become the fastest of all. Number 2. Winchester Model 1892. By the late 19th century, the Winchester 1892 had perfected the lever-action rifle. Skilled shooters could fire 10 rounds in under 3 seconds. Outlaws, cowboys, and lawmen trusted it in impossible situations: stagecoach robberies, ambushes, saloon shootouts. One man alone could face a dozen enemies and survive. The rifle's smooth, strong action, giving him speed no other gun could. The Winchester 1892 didn't just shoot bullets. It bought time, pushed back death, and turned ordinary men into legends. Its speed was almost supernatural for its era, and every outlaw who mastered it became an expert at cheating the impossible. Number 1. The Haven Gun. The ultimate outlaw's secret weapon. A prototype combining revolver, shotgun, and rapid-fire mechanism, it was banned before it ever reached the West. Authorities feared it, outlaws dreamed of it. One man with this gun could dominate an entire street, every shot precise, every reload instantaneous. Its design pushed the boundaries of technology and imagination, creating a legend that haunted the frontier. The Haven gun never fired in anger across Main Street, but its reputation shaped the ambitions of every outlaw who sought to bend the rules of survival. It wasn't just a weapon, it was the embodiment of power, control, and inevitability. These weren't just guns, they were lifelines, machines of steel and ingenuity that allowed men to survive when the odds were impossible. They shaped towns, battles, and legends. The West wasn't conquered by men alone. It was conquered by those who mastered the tools that decided life and death. If you've ridden this trail with us, hit subscribe to join the campfire. Every subscription, like, and comment helps the channel grow and keeps these untold stories alive. Until next time, keep your powder dry. Survival in the West was never guaranteed, but the right weapon could change everything.